Also, Complex has put out their 10 most influential women in sports. And Angel Reese is not going to like this because, well, she got beaten by Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has done it again. Not only is she shattering records on the court, but she's also been named the most influential female athlete by Complex. This cements her status as the biggest name in sports today. And here's the twist: she even surpassed Angel Reese for the honor. Unsurprisingly, Reese isn't exactly happy about it.
It's been hard for me, but adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of like just moving on has been something I try to get myself.
While Caitlin Clark continues to set records and elevate the game, Angel Reese seems more focused on making excuses, reacts as if the award doesn't matter. But let's be honest, if she had won, we'd never hear the end of it. Instead of celebrating Clark's success, she's busy downplaying her achievements, all while spending more time on TikTok than improving her game.
Top 10 most influential athletes right now. These athletes are reshaping culture. Caitlin Clark, check. Breaking records. Caitlin Clark, check. Proving their impact goes far beyond the game, from sold out arenas to game-changing moves in business and fashion. These women are leading the way. If this is a top 10 list, then sitting on the top of that list, there's only one right answer. There's only one.
Let us be real, this isn't just about an award. It's about which player the fans are truly backing. One player has the entire sports world captivated by her incredible talent, while others are making headlines for reasons that have nothing to do with basketball. Some might call it a rivalry, but let us be honest, it's hard to see it as a competition when one player is consistently dominating.
I know. So my whole thing was like, when I got drafted, number 7. So I'm like, cool, like pressure is not even on me because I'm drafted 7, so the pressure shouldn't be up there. So I'm like, all right, cool, I can just hoop. So I'm like, all right, cool.
It's because you started killing.
Well, yeah.
You're like, oh,
I'm still a rookie. I'm still figuring it out. Trying to.
Let us be honest, this isn't just about an award. It's about who the fans are really supporting. One player has the entire sports world hooked, all eyes on her incredible talent, while others are grabbing headlines for everything except basketball. Some might label it a rivalry, but let us face it, it's hard to call it a competition when one player is consistently dominating.
Angel Reese is not going to like this because, well, she got beaten by Caitlin Clark for number 1. Yeah, so we're going to take a look at that. I think it's hilarious. I will tell you right off the bat, I don't believe there's a singular world, where Angel Reese should be ahead of Simone Biles either. There, I put that.
Caitlin Clark didn't just break records, she shattered them. 60 records broken in a single season, that's unheard of. This isn't just about making history, it's about rewriting the entire record book. No player in WNBA history has ever dominated like this, and she's only in her first year.
Expectation is to be one of the best players in the world one year. I wouldn't expect anything less than that.
Third history for the FIBA rookie.
At this point, continue to be myself, and I think a lot of good will.
My goal is to be one of the greatest players in the world someday. Would you expect anything less from a rookie making history? Making history is just part of the journey. I'll keep being true to myself, and I believe great things will keep coming.
The woman who's been putting women's basketball on her back for the better part of 3 years now. These athletes are reshaping culture. Caitlin Clark has men watching women.
But here's where it gets even crazier. Caitlin Clark didn't just put up insane numbers, she completely transformed an entire franchise. Before she arrived, the Indiana Fever were stuck at the bottom, struggling to stay relevant. Then Clark stepped in, and just like that, they made the playoffs for the first time in nearly a decade. That's not just individual greatness, it's a game-changing impact on an entire team. Now, let us talk about Caitlin Clark's off-the-court influence, because this is where she truly separates herself from her so-called rivals. In her rookie season, WNBA merchandise sales skyrocketed by an unbelievable 500%. That's right, 500%. The moment Clark hit the court, demand for league gear went through the roof. Jerseys, t-shirts, memorabilia, you name it. It was flying off the shelves at a pace the WNBA had never seen before. And we all know who wasn't part of that rush: Angel Reese. Her jerseys were sitting there collecting dust, while Clark's sold out in minutes.
Phenomenon. Caitlin Clark.
But this isn't just about jersey sales. Caitlin Clark's influence is reshaping the entire WNBA economy. Viewership is at an all-time high, and arenas that once struggled to fill seats are now packed, especially when Clark is in town. Teams that used to beg fans to show up are now scrambling to add more seating just to meet the demand.
That's what they got on her. Caitlin Clark, she ran away with number one. I don't think that should surprise us. She came away with number one. Caitlin Clark is redefining the entire landscape of women's sports. That's right. Her dominance on the court has shattered outdated narratives about women's sports, proving that women's basketball can be just as marketable and widely watched as men's. But the Caitlin Clark effect goes far beyond her performance. It's reshaping the entire sports landscape. Clark's impact is undeniable. Her presence alone boosts the WNBA attendance by 100.
Even sports economists are amazed by Caitlin Clark's impact. David Lee, one of the top names in sports business, called her a lightning rod for women's basketball, even comparing her to Michael Jordan in terms of how she's elevating the game's visibility and value. And honestly, it's hard to argue with that.
When we went to the WNBA games, we went to go watch Caitlin Clark when they came to play the Washington Mystics in DC, and they shut that. They had to move the game from the Washington Mystics WNBA arena to the actual Washington arena where the Wizards played, and it was packed. It was sold out for people to see Caitlin Clark. That did not happen the day before that when they went to Chicago.
Even sports economists are blown away by Caitlin Clark's impact. David Lee, one of the leading figures in sports business, referred to her as a lightning rod for women's basketball, even comparing her to Michael Jordan for the way she's boosting the game's visibility and value. And honestly, it's tough to argue with that.
Look at this the way I did with Michael Jordan. Now, she's not the Michael Jordan of her sport as far as athleticism, playing, dominating. But Asia Wilson is the best player in the game. Not even a debate. But I'm talking about value now. Value to a franchise, value to a league, getting your team in the playoffs. They had the number one pick. They were the worst team last year. And there is value that...
Meanwhile, Angel Reese is still wondering why she wasn't named the most influential. Maybe if she spent more time honing her game and less time venting on social media, she'd be in a different position.
About value. Michael Jordan was the most valuable player every single year because of what he meant to his team and what he meant to the league. And, oh, by the way, winning 6 titles. Can't argue with that. Caitlin Clark may not win titles. Las Vegas is still a great team. But the fact that she is doing what she's doing and at a very high level, you know, it's now commonplace where she'll go for 26 and 12. I mean, those are great numbers for any player, no matter.
Caitlin Clark's journey to these awards may seem inevitable, but the real story is much bigger. Remember when Angel Reese was hyped as Clark's biggest competition? The media built up a so-called rivalry between them, selling it as the ultimate showdown, a season-long battle that had fans on the edge of their seats. But let's be real, was it ever really that close?
Sports. It's about athletic ability. You know what I'm saying? And when we look at Caitlin Clark's game, it's very reminiscent of a Steph Curry based on her range and shooting the three, plus everything else she does. And then you look at Angel Reese. Stop it. Stop it. There's a dude on the internet who cracks me up on TikTok. together a shitload of Angel Reese clips, and it'll say Angel Reese part 36, and it goes Angel Reese going up for another layup, she misses, and I mean, dude, it's the funniest shit. And my whole thing is this, dude, she just seems as uncoordinated as a.
From the start, the media framed it as a head-to-head battle between two rookies for WNBA supremacy. But as the season went on, it became clear this wasn't a matchup of equals. One player was dominating the league, while the other was making more headlines off the court than on it.
Angel Reese is better than Caitlin Clark, is saying Rodman was better than Michael Jordan, or Ben Wallace was better than Kobe, or even Andre Drummond was better than LeBron. And I shouldn't have to point out that Angel Reese is actually a poor.
Caitlin Clark didn't just win, she dominated. She secured Rookie of the Year and a spot on the All-WNBA first team, making it clear that the so-called competition wasn't even close. But instead of congratulating Clark, Angel Reese took to social media, claiming Clark didn't deserve the honor. It's like losing a race by a mile and then demanding a rematch.